So this story isn't exactly brand new by any means, but it is still something worth talking about, something I really wanted to discuss and kind of give my in-depth opinions on, because it is a big deal. It's a big deal. Anyone who says it's not a big deal is absolutely kidding themselves. So, but by now I'm sure most of you have already heard this, that Fortnite has broken records and is now making history. Fortnite is now the first video game ever made that is completely cross-platform on every system it's available for. That makes it the first game that can be played between PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo and PC, mobile phones, you name it. If it's on that system, it can be played with anybody. That it really opens up Fortnite's player base and is going to help the game both, get more attention first, because it's the first game in history to do this, but also, of course, to keep the game alive even longer. I mean, I don't think there's anybody really worried about that right now, seeing as how Fortnite, especially the Battle Royale, is like the most played game like ever. It's huge. It's the biggest multiplayer game out right now. And but yeah, you can play with everybody. You can play with your friends on whatever system you have, and they're working on setting everything up to make sure that you can take your progression across different accounts, and combine them into one account. Like for those of us who made a separate account for the Switch when that came out, we're gonna be able to combine our accounts into one on all our purchases and stuff. And then I think that they did say, I haven't tested this, I don't know if it's out yet, but you either can already or will be able to sign into your PlayStation account anywhere. So you can sign into your Xbox or your Switch account with your PlayStation account instead of being locked out of X. I know that was my real big problem with it. The crossplay aspect didn't really bug me as much, but not being able to use my PlayStation stuff on my Switch and not having just one Fortnite account, having to have two separate ones, it was just kind of disappointing, especially because I could do the same on my PC. And I don't really play Fortnite a ton, but I play it every now and then. My brothers really like it, so I play with them. It was just kind of frustrating, but now, I mean, I can, take my Switch with me and get a couple rounds of Fortnite in at work, or, something like that. So that is kind of cool. It is cool, but the real ramifications of this are absolutely astonishing. Sony has been anti-crossplay, and they've made statements saying, no, it's not happening, but now it's happened, and they're opening up to other games coming along too. I mean, this is huge. This is the first game in history that allows full crossplay. Sony and Microsoft never had crossplay before with each other, and now this game allows that. That's just nuts. I think this is really awesome. I think this is the way it should be. Maybe not every game, obviously, but definitely a lot of games I think should really take advantage of this. Even if they don't do full PC crossplay for a lot of shooters, like I think games like Call of Duty, absolutely let the Xbox and Sony guys play together. It'll keep the servers populated longer, especially games like, for example, fighting games. It'll help those games last even longer, because that's kind of the biggest problem with fighting games, is that once the dust settles and once the dedicated player base settles in and keeps going, then you don't really have a large pool of players, and it's hard to get those newcomers in. So just increasing your player pool, like imagine if Fighters had full crossplay between all 4 platforms. Like, that's a lot of people playing the game, and you're gonna get more low-level players playing, but also more high-level players playing. So the people at the very bottom of the spectrum can find players easier, and the people at the top-level spectrum can find players at their actual skill range. I mean, right now, Fighters is very popular, don't get me wrong, but matchmaking is still an issue in that game, because sometimes you just can't find anybody that fits the criteria. So if that game had full crossplay, that problem would be solved. Games like Titanfall that are basically dead, if that had crossplay, that would allow more players to be on servers. That would basically bring that game back from the dead. And that is just a cool thought to think of. I know it can't work for every game ever, but any game at all, that's already a victory for us. That's already a huge deal. So I would love to see this going forward in a lot of other games. and I definitely want to see it retroactively implemented into any game it can fit. I'm a big supporter of fighting games having full crossplay because there's no advantages that you can get by allowing crossplay. So just open the floodgates, man. Let all the fighters players play together. That'd be great. Street Fighter V already does this. So the more games, the better. If Eunice did this, then I might be able to find a game every now and then. But let me know what you guys think down below. Are you guys pro or anti crossplay? And if so, why? Let me know down in the description. And I'll see you guys in the description, in the comment section. Jeez. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay classy.